Mackey Motors in Lake City is the place to find new and certified used vehicles, along with a knowledgeable and helpful sales staff. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City.
Talking right now with the IKM-Manning boys, 4x800 relay team down here, Class 1A, late in the day. Luckily right now we're not getting any rain, and Hunter Smith's got to run in some dry weather even though he's all wet. Hunter, how did things go for you early on here today?
Well, earlier it was raining really bad, so it was hard to get prepared to stay warm throughout the cold rain, but as we got closer to our race, it started cooling down, so we got to go warm up, lined up, and then it started raining again.
So how did you keep yourself dry as you could, warmed up, but not getting too cold?
Well, you know, our coach brought us ponchos, so we wore those, and then kind of stood behind the stands a little bit, stay warm, get out of the rain a little bit.
How did you run? How did you feel like when things started? You had to start it, so the nerves had to settle early.
Well, I was in the first lane, so it was really important for me to get out fast so I don't get boxed in. So I did that, and then coming to first 200, I saw a guy started past me, and last time I raced, that wasn't my race, so I just kind of let him go. And then my second lap, I started to feel myself again. Felt like I was more even between my first and second lap. And last 150, I really kicked in and felt really good at the end.
How strong do you think we were at the end?
I think that's the strongest I felt all year with the 150. I've been dealing with some knee and quad problems, but today with getting stretching and getting good recovery over the past week has really helped me, and I felt really good on the 150.
What are you soaking in with this atmosphere?
It's just unbelievable, you know. I missed out last year, and this year it's just unbelievable. The fans, I mean, even with the not so good weather, you still love the experience.
Well, I tell you what, appreciate you joining us. Great job out here today. Go get warm and dry.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Let's move over now to Connor Keller, who had that second leg here today. You got to watch Hunter run. Did that help you settle the nerves a little bit, or were there any nerves to begin with?
There were little nerves to start with, but then once I saw him coming down the stretch, I was like, it's time for me to go. So then the nerves were just gone.
How'd you start? How did things go for you early on?
Early on, I felt fine, and then when I got around to the second lap, I just kind of lost it. But I found myself again around the 600 mark, so.
A little too quick on that first lap. Was the pace pretty fast?
The pace was pretty fast, but I thought I could keep it, and then I just hit a wall.
When did you kind of regain your strength, and how'd you close?
Around the 600 mark, because I knew I had to kick it in to get it to Akim, so I just kicked and gave it everything I had at the end.
What's it like running down here? What's the experience been like for you so far?
It's completely different than anything I've ever ran in before. The fans are really loud. It gets you going.
Anything else you're looking forward to seeing here today or tomorrow?
I'm ready for the D-Med. I think we can cut a bunch of time and hopefully place.
Well, I tell you what, great job here today. Best luck. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yep, thank you.
You bet. Let's move over now to Akim at Duot. And Akim, what's it like being down here for you? This has got to be a fun experience running with these guys.
Yeah, this is my first time being down here, so I was kind of nervous just how to get things done. So I've been doing this all year, so I was just like, it's just another event just with a lot of people.
Is it different than you thought it would be, or is it about what you expected?
It's different because the COVID rules and all that, but then when the COVID rules got unrestricted, I was like, yeah, it's going to be a lot of people there.
How did you feel running today? Take us kind of through that first lap.
That first lap was just trying to get back into that find my pace and all that, try to get us back in it. I was trying to cut it down to at least fourth, just trying to build some ground ups because I knew Q can get it done.
What do you think is your strength running in 800? Because you've been good at it all year.
My strength is just not wanting to get far behind, not let my teammates down, and just try to get to the other person.
Is there anything else you're kind of looking forward to down here at the state track meet?
Probably not. This is it.
No food, anything you want to try, anything like that? No, I tell you what, great job out here today. Appreciate you, and great job all season.
Thank you.
You bet. Let's move over now to Quentin Dreyer, who ran that anchor leg here today. Q, you got to wait for 3 guys to run, so you got about 6 minutes or so, 6.5 minutes to kind of settle in. You've done this before, so it probably doesn't bother you much. You're probably pretty comfortable.
No, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with it just because going through waiting for the guys to come around, I can kind of base off where the guys are. And yeah, with the nerves, as you said, I've already been here and kind of get a feel for the crowd and how everybody kind of runs just a little bit better just because of the adrenaline going. And yeah, kind of just sticking around with those guys.
Did you feel pretty recovered from that 3,200 earlier when you had to run here?
I could feel that. I wasn't fully recovered, but I could feel that I had enough to go out and run a pretty good race. But I could certainly feel it a little bit, just a little bit in the hamstring because that had been acting up a little bit. But today it didn't feel too bad. But yeah, for the most part, I felt like I had a decent amount of rest.
That change your strategy at all?
A little bit, because at districts and other races we've tested me doing the 2 mile and then turning around and running the 4x8. So compared to about a half an hour of rest at a regular meet compared to an hour and a half of rest, I'd say it's pretty nice for a bigger time gap.
What did you give any advice to the younger guys here, and stuff for what it's like being down here?
It seemed like they were just a little bit nervous and anxious, but I told them to just go out and run their race because I knew that it's not always about the race and how you run, it's also about the experience and having fun. And that's what I tried to tell them, and I think they kind of, after hearing that, I think they kind of relaxed a little bit.
Well, I tell you what, Q, appreciate you joining us. Great job as always. I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Jeff.